And
Oh, we're now live.
we're now live. Right, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. We are live from Wolverhampton, from Essex, and fantastically from Red Bull Arena. How are we?
We are doing good here at Red Bull Arena. The Red Bulls just taken the field for warm-ups, and it's not a bad day either. Good, a little bit humid. Maybe it's an English day. I don't know what it's like over in Wolverhampton. Is it overcast?
You know what? It's not. It's actually quite sunny.
Quite nice. Considering what time is it now? It's about 5:30 in the UK. It's actually quite nice.
Just after 5:30 in the UK, and yes, it is. It's quite sunny.
We're now in what we call British summertime, when it's not terribly awful. It gets mildly awful. That's our British summertime.
Yeah, this is the good bit where it's not too hot, not too cold. You have to wear a jacket out, but it's quite nice. Right, so we do have the lineup. We have Coronel in goal, Dylan Nealis, and John Tolkien at fullback. Tom Edwards, Aaron Long, and Sean Nealis at centre half. Caceres Jr. and Meyer in the middle. Morgan and Fernandez either side of Patrick Klimala. How are we feeling about
that? It's good. It should be very good. Again, it's all going to come down to whether or not Klimala can finish his chances. We saw it in the last game. Lots of we're not even talking about the penalty miss, but just lots of chances again in front of goal. If he can start converting, this team isn't going to have any issues, I think, moving forward.
Fantastic. Luke, looking at the bench, what do we think about the bench today?
Well, we've finally got Barlow on there again, who's we all know. I've got that champagne coming from Gary. That's top quality champagne. So I'm expecting.
Still waiting for that, aren't you, Luke?
I'm still waiting for that.
Still waiting for that.
I just let them know. I just let them know that they're waiting. That you're waiting on the champagne.
They're waiting for the champagne. That's not a bad bench, is it? Ashley Fletcher will score the winner probably.
Well, Ashley Fletcher currently in my Football Manager save is 30 goals in 34 games, so we can only hope that can be translated into real life.
He didn't do that on my save, I'll be honest.
Oh dear, see, not playing the right formation. Right, looking at Columbus, they start with Room, Moreira and Santos at fullback, Mensah and this. I'm going to slaughter this name. Degama, Anthony, help. Degama.
Wait, which name are you looking at?
Degema.
Oh yes, yeah. I have no idea.
No,
I have no idea how to pronounce that guy's name.
Brilliant.
It makes that sort of a bit bitter if you can't pronounce it.
Absolutely. Artur and Nagby in the centre of the park. Yeboah and Keyman Zelarayan alongside Derek Etienne and Berry up top. What do we have to worry about, Anthony?
So I think that what we're going to see in this game is how important Darlington Nagby is going to be. He wasn't quite himself last season, but he is a force in the midfield, especially defensively. If he can force his way through some of these younger players, or I don't call them undersized, Nagby's a little bit of a truck, then New York's going to have a hard time. If they can take advantage of the fact that he's not quite as fast, if they can get in behind him, I think that Columbus is going to be off balance for a good chunk of this game. The other issue, too, is Derek Etienne Jr. What's he going to be like here? He has started the season on fire, and if they can shut him down, that's much easier said than done, but that's going to be a really big part of their game today.
Yeah, Derek Etienne scoring in the 2-1 win against Toronto, doing the little BWP flick. We don't really want to see that today.
We should also mention, obviously, was quite sad news by Derek and came out. Was it last night? I think I read it last night.
Yeah.
He was involved in a robbery, and it seemed pretty horrible. So it's not a nice thing for anyone to go through. And who knows?
It's a bit of a bad streak around world football right now. Is unfortunate robberies. Hopefully things aren't too bad for him.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Obviously, we come off the back of a 1-0 home defeat to Minnesota. Patrick Lamela aside, what do we need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again today?
It's really it's getting those chances. They're getting chances in front of net. They're doing everything right. Throughout half of last year, it was all about what is Struber's game plan. By about midway, we knew it was creating chaos, creating those overloads, really getting those chances in front of goal. We saw that happening. Now it feels like they've got it. They're doing it. And they've got all the pieces to make it happen. It's about finishing now. It's about finishing those chances, because you know that in this league, anything can happen, and the away team can always nick one at the last minute, which is essentially what happened against Minnesota. They got that goal, but really they were nowhere near as dangerous as the Red Bulls throughout the entirety of that game.
No, absolutely.
You can thing is, I always think you can have as many shots as you want. There's only one key stat in football, and it's how many goals you scored. You can have 18 shots on target. If you don't score any goals, you're not going to win football matches. Simple as.
Absolutely. It's been a bit of a mad weekend so far. I've been watching a couple of games and keeping track of others. Atlanta 3 each. And you've had Cincinnati beating. I said this, the absolute guaranteed wooden spooners this year into Miami. They are looking
awful. Even Cincinnati are beating them. That's how you know you're bad. If Cincinnati are beating you, let's say we lost them last year, but
yeah, can you guys come get Phil Neville back, because I think he forgot where he was supposed to be.
No, we can leave him there, because that's one place we're going to be higher than guaranteed, so he can stay as long as he wants.
We already got rid of him. You think we've taken him back already?
Just don't send us Gary Neville, and we'll be fine.
No, we want to keep him. He's fantastic. He was at Molyneux the other day singing.
I wouldn't wish Gary Neville on anyone. How about you, Scott? I wouldn't wish him on anyone.
I'll take his punditry any day, but past
his punditry is top quality, but anything else is awful.
He was one of a few big names at Molyneux on Friday night, alongside Jamie Carragher, alongside obviously the wonderful Wolves squad, which we'll talk less about the result. But also there was a certain Jesse Marsh, who I was very, very pleased to have met.
Did you see your shirt?
Yeah, just putting what I might just putting this out there. Quite happy with that. This is getting framed as soon as possible.
You guys, it's funny because Jesse did not want the Ted Lasso tag, but everything that's been happening in his post-game interviews are so Ted Lasso-ish. The most recent being his comments to the press about how they're making fun of his accent.
Making fun of him, yeah.
To which he laughed, and no one else did.
What was the only man smiling in Wolverhampton after that game? I stood there quite a couple of hours waiting for him. He came out and spoke to him, and I had to keep the shirt. I went out afterward for a few drinks with some friends. I didn't have time to go home, so I had my shirt very firmly packed into my jacket pocket for the rest of the evening, so nobody thought I was a Leeds fan.
I'm just shocked people thought they must have thought there's New York fans in England. I really thought surely there's not people stay up to 1 a.m. in the morning to watch Major League Soccer.
Yeah, his opening line. I shouted his name because I'd stood there for a couple of hours. I'd watched all of the, Calvin Phillips, Rodrigo. They'd all walked past. Everybody was asking them for autographs, and I'm not interested. Bye. And he comes out, and I shouted his name, just held my jersey up really high, and he went, "I have not seen one of those in a very, very long time."
Well, the New York Red Bulls are still, I think, the 2011 Emirates Cup champions. So I think that everyone in the UK remembers how we bossed Arsenal to a 1-1 draw.
That is a game that I did try and attend. I didn't get to in the end.
Before my time. Also, Dax McCarthy's time to play is 35 this year.
Dax McCarthy. Can we talk about Dax McCarthy and he's I only saw that this morning and said I was sat in bed staring at my phone, shouting the word Dax, and my partner was very, very confused as to why I was doing so. That was a bit much, wasn't it?
Oh, it's very odd. You know, also, I saw a really interesting stat. He's played something like 400 odd games. In 401 games he played, he never seen a red card. He's now got 2 in the last 12. That's
Yeah,
a pretty.
he is a very frustrated player at the moment. You can see it. I won't speak about anything that's happening behind the scenes, but on the field, you can tell his frustration. You can tell that things aren't going his way, and that was a very big lash out moment. I mean, he's going to get more games on top of the 1 game suspension, so it's just a matter of how many is it going to be.
I mean, Sean Davis for the second time in his career has sort of pinched his spot, so I don't know how he feels about that.
It's still a legend, still a New York legend.
Of course.
No matter what happens, I always think that I'll be the person in 60 years' time going, "Do you remember Dax McCarthy?" And I ought to be going,
and everybody else is going to say, absolutely no.
Who? I'll be at a pub going on. Do you remember when Dax McCarthy scored 2 headers and Red Bull 7? I'll be looking at me like, "What?
Anthony, do you think this is Dax's last year?
No. I mean, barring injury, no. I can see him sticking around a bit longer.
I want to watch him before he retires, so I need him to do at least 1 more year. 1 more year, Dax. So I can come and watch you, then you can retire.
How many people are we expecting today, Anthony, in the stadium?
That I'm not sure about it. I would say, you know, we're a bit away from the game now. It's probably about less than a third full at the moment, but that's normal. We'll see. I can share a picture with you guys that you can share once the kickoff happens. The traffic was very bad here on the way, so it may be a late arriving crowd, but I would not expect it to be anything more than half full.
Okay, half full's not great, but it's better than nothing. We don't give it a yes.
I mean, you know, it's the Red Bull Arena doesn't really pick up with attendance until it gets permanently warm. And I can tell you by one of my photographers who was here for the last game, he almost lost a toe with how cold it was. So people will not trust the home games until it's permanently warm in New York.
Oh dear. Lakinas is obviously on the bench again today. He looked really, really smart coming on against Minnesota. Picked the ball up and made some good runs inside. Do we think we'll see much of him in the second half?
I think it depends on the need. If this team is up 2-0, I can see it to get his legs in, to get everything going. But if they're not, I don't think that they want to put him out there and maybe burst his confidence before he's really ready to go. But yeah, if the game's in a bit of control, I can definitely see him coming in. I think the one that we're going to see probably more likely than not if things go bad, not bad, but if they really need a goal late, is we should see Ashley Fletcher in the game. I would probably say maybe around the 65th minute if Red Bulls really need a goal.
Who's impressed you most this season, Anthony, so far in the opening 3 games?
Oh, definitely. And I said this last year too. Christian Cáceres Jr. just seems better and better every single game I watch him in. I don't know how long he is for the MLS world. I would be surprised if he's not playing on a European team very soon. And the other thing was just how good Aaron Long has been since coming back. He doesn't look like he's missed a step. I was expecting a little bit of a slow start because of how many games he missed, and he's been off to just a red hot start.
Oh, he's been incredible. He's back. He's back.
I would arguably say at times this season, I mean, I know we're only 3 games in, but I think he looks better. I think he actually looks better than he has done over recent years. He's been so dominant and so fantastic to watch.
So, will he be in next year though? Will he finally get that Europe move? Was that in the bin now? That Europe move. He's a bit old now. Injury.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what he wants, really. I know in the past he's talked about moving on to Europe. That talk feels like it's died down a bit. It may pick up again if he continues to have this good of a year. He is older, so that is a risk. A center back at his age. I know we're talking older. He's not even 30 yet. But moving on to Europe, if it's going to be in the cards, I would say it would probably be at the end of this year after the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, he got his call up for the qualifiers, didn't he, this week? Where is Aaron Long in the depth chart for US centre halves?
I think it's pretty high considering he was called in. Period. He was called in ahead of John Brooks, which is, we could do a whole podcast on Greg Berhalter and John Brooks and what's going on there. But he was called in. I don't expect that he's going to play at the Azteca. I think he will get some time in one of the other games. But he is going to be, I feel, one of the guys that is a World Cup starter. And that's what Greg Berhalter wants. Can't blame him for that either. He's really good with the ball at his feet, really good at distributing. And Greg Berhalter has really missed that over this window since he was injured last year.
No, absolutely. What do you make to the start of the three Brits that have started games this year? Edwards, Yearwood, and Morgan.
Morgan's been fantastic, but I expected that from Morgan. I think the big surprise for me is the leap that Drew Yearwood has made. He was good last year. He looks like an MLS starter, which was definitely needed when Sean Davis left. Not that he's an exact replacement. I think it's not a one man fits all job, but he's a guy who's going to really alleviate that pressure if he continues playing the way that he is.
Luke?
Yeah, I agree. I think Lewis Morgan's been different class. I'm interested to see how Fletcher does today because I think we do need that second striker. Like we need someone. Patrick Amara is very inconsistent. You can't rely on him to score 30 goals a season, without a doubt. So you need someone to really get. You need to split getting 20 goals per team per player really. So I'd be interested in how he does. But there's a lot of good players in this roster. We all know that. And it's about if they can show up today and get a win. Wins are all that matters.
Absolutely. Go on, Anthony.
Yeah, the Columbus is also a really good team. So, I mean, I don't know if we know what Minnesota is yet, but this Columbus team, this is a year where they have to meet their benchmark because players are getting older. So this is a team that really is out here to prove something this year. This will probably be one of the tougher games that Red Bull has had this year. Yes, they should have beaten Minnesota, and Minnesota will probably end up being a lot better than we think than years past. But this is the one that marked on the calendar as the first real test for this team.
Yeah, I read an interesting sort of, I don't know whether you'd call it a stat, but that Caleb Porter teams tend to have a really good year, a really bad year, and then the year after a really bad year tend to really come out and show what they can do. Zellerau on again with 3 games in, he's looked absolutely fantastic, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm just noticing the players are starting to come off the field now, so I think they're getting ready for the walkout.
Kickoff is in 10 minutes time. Well,
okay, so
18,
I mean, for you guys are going to think that the ball is going to be kicked off in 10 minutes. It's probably about 15 minutes.
6:08 for us normally. 6:08 is a normal time for us. We actually got a stream today thanks to a bloke sitting next to, thanks to Gary Redmond. So he's interested.
Cheers, Gary.
Cheers, Gary.
They're thanking you for the stream.
Otherwise, we've been watching the Sky Bet. So.
Oh. So what do you think? This Red Bull team, how would they do in League One?
Oh, they'll hold on in League.
This is Luke. You at the minute with
my team's in League One.
Fan. You're the current leading expert. I've not had to deal with League One in a very long amount of years for the Wolves.
I hate League One.
Well. So how do you think we do? Go on.
With risk of upsetting all my Ipswich mates, I generally think Rich Red Bull team will win League One. I generally do think that. Because League One is a horrible league. Like, Ipswich like that. You can't play nice football in League One. You just got to score goals and press and get and this is what the Red Bull style plays: press and score goals. And it would just fit into a T to League One football, I think. At least one of my teams might actually win something in League One.
So you think that Red Bulls would finish above Ipswich? Just making that clear.
I mean, I thought that for years. I thought even in Championship, Red Bulls would beat Ipswich.
The real question is who would be hated more, MK Dons or Red Bull for having a team in England?
MK Dons.
No,
MK
you know
Dons.
what? I don't know. I think that's
No, it would be MK Dons.
The amount of times I get absolutely slaughtered due to that.
No, I've never ever had that to me ever.
Yeah.
I've never ever had anyone say that to me.
I've got nobody that's into it as much as I am. I've got MLS friends over here, and one of them actually is a Columbus fan, and a couple of other things. But I've the Red Bull thing is something that has been always been very disliked.
It mean nothing to me.
No, I mean you look at the team. I mean, I think starting 11: Coronel, Long, Caceres, Fletcher, because he's proven that. I think those guys immediately are considerably better than League One players. So I think there's a spine there that would do well. I'd be a bit more concerned in the Championship. I think it would be more mid-table in the Championship, but yeah.
As long as we beat Fulham home and away, I wouldn't mind.
Why Fulham?
Why Fulham?
Because their owner is one of the worst owners in the NFL, the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they just seem to not care about any of the teams that they own.
Is he a bloke who tried to buy Wembley? All right, am I right in thinking that?
He's what?
Isn't he a bloke who tried to buy Wembley at one time?
Not sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Our producer gets it correct. So, yes.
Well
done, Ed.
Fulham, I've travelling away with Wolves. My big sort of disagreement with Fulham is that they have a neutral section in their stadium. So you have a home section, you have an away section, and then you have a neutral section. So for any Tom, Dick, or Harry who supports any team in the country to come in, I don't know why you'd need to buy a ticket specifically for a neutral section rather than just sitting in the home end. But it's
I find that flow. So when I went to Red Bull Arena, I went with my dad. My dad's never watched an MLS game in his life. He had no idea what he was getting himself into, and he couldn't believe the fact that we were sitting next to DC United fans. That he's like, "There's no away fans here." I'm like, no, just sit along with each other. And he couldn't believe it.
I thought he would have been surprised that you could buy a beer in the stadium.
He didn't drink, so.
This is one of the worst things about English football. You can go and buy a beer in the concourse and you can stand there and you can wait and you can wait and you wait. And then you get to a point where you're 5 minutes until kickoff and you're looking at your watch and you think, oh, right, this has got to go down quickly. And then all I've ever wanted to do is be able to hold a beer in the stands. That'd be lovely.
Well, you also can't take buck topless into away grounds. But you can take a Coke can in, which you can throw at a player and do so much more damage than a water bottle top. Like, it's crazy. Well, it will be much better if you all just watch MLS.
I think it would. Agreed.
Just all watch MLS.
We're trying really hard.
we were having this chat the other day, weren't we, Scott, about how much we're so disconnected from English football nowadays. I generally 100% prefer watching New York I do to Ipswich.
I'm sure with the recent Manchester United results, Anthony's quite disconnected with English football as well at the minute.
I mean, it's hard to stay disconnected when so many people are taking great joy in my team not doing well.
Eddie's not in his head along as well. So
how wonderful is this that you are now supporting a team in England that has a Red Bull connection, despite the fact that it's going absolutely terribly at the moment. Big Ralph.
It's they're another team that I knew. I mean, Ragnick is a special thing all to himself. But I knew it was going to be a bad job the minute he took it. It was not, especially for only 6 months. Ragnick is not good unless he's there for 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Go on.
And they have just unfurled the giant Red Bull banner here at Red Bull Arena.
Have they?
The kids are about to walk into the center circle.
Fantastic. Well, with that, we will leave you to the game, Anthony, and we'll watch it on our stream again. Thank you, Gary. Right, Right. I hope you've enjoyed this. This is something we want to get done a bit more regularly. Thank you to Anthony for providing us his wisdom as per usual. We're fingers crossed for a good result. Quickly before we go, Anthony, prediction?
I'm predicting a 2-1 win for the New York Red Bulls.
Luke?
3-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 as well. Right, okay. Thank you for listening. Catch you soon.
Let's go Red Bulls.